lot of people try to emulate Michael, which they do, a lot of them. He became Michael.
I couldn't believe it. I got so emotional because he became Michael on the screen. It brought tears to my eyes. I couldn't believe it.
The reaction inside the room was unlike anything anyone expected. For months, audiences had heard about the dedication. They had heard about the preparation. They had heard stories about the endless hours of training, rehearsals, and pressure surrounding the film. But nothing could have prepared the Jackson family for what happened when they finally saw the results with their own eyes. The moment footage of Jaafar appeared on screen, the atmosphere reportedly changed. People weren't simply watching a performance. They were watching a member of their family step into one of the most recognizable roles in entertainment history. And according to interviews given by family members, the emotional impact was overwhelming. Several relatives later described moments where they became emotional while watching. Others praised Jaafar's commitment to the role. Some spoke about how difficult it must have been to carry such enormous expectations. The reactions quickly became a major talking point online. Fans shared interview clips. Entertainment pages reposted family comments. Reaction channels dissected every statement. And suddenly the conversation wasn't just about the movie anymore. It was about the family's response to seeing Jaafar's transformation. What made the story even more compelling was the sheer amount of work that had gone into the project. Jaafar himself openly discussed the preparation process. He talked about studying performances. He talked about learning movement. He talked about understanding the emotional weight of the story he was helping tell. Those comments resonated strongly with fans. Many people began revisiting interviews where he described the challenges involved. Others shared clips highlighting the dedication required to take on such a demanding role. The admiration grew. The conversation expanded. And the emotional responses kept coming. Then another wave of attention arrived when family members publicly praised his performance. Those comments spread across social media at lightning speed. Supporters celebrated. Fan pages exploded with reactions. Video compilations appeared everywhere. The clips accumulated millions of views. For many viewers, the most powerful aspect wasn't the praise itself. It was who the praise was coming from. These were people who had known Michael personally. People who had lived through the history. People who understood the significance of the story better than almost anyone else. That reality gave their reactions tremendous emotional weight. As those interviews continued circulating, audiences became even more invested. Comment sections filled with emotional responses. Fans shared memories. Families discussed the upcoming film together. The excitement surrounding the project reached another level entirely. And then a new question began appearing everywhere online. If these early reactions were already generating this much emotion, what would happen when the movie finally reached audiences around the world? That question sparked a fresh wave of anticipation. Predictions flooded social media. Discussion threads multiplied. Reaction videos appeared daily. The momentum continued building. And with every new interview, every new clip, and every new reaction, the spotlight on Jaafar grew even brighter. What started as a casting announcement had evolved into one of the most closely watched entertainment stories surrounding the film. And judging by the response from fans and family alike, the conversation was only getting started. The biggest surprise wasn't the attention. It wasn't the headlines. And it wasn't the viral clips. It was the realization that a project many people viewed as a movie had become something much more personal for those closest to the story. And that emotional connection is exactly why audiences still can't stop talking about it. Nobody inside that screening room was prepared for what happened next. The lights dimmed. The conversation stopped. The anticipation became almost unbearable. And then, the moment finally arrived. For years, fans had wondered whether anyone could carry the weight of portraying Michael Jackson on the big screen. Critics questioned it. Commentators debated it. Social media fought over it. Some believed it was impossible. Then Jaafar appeared on screen. And according to interviews and public comments from members of the Jackson family, the reaction was immediate. Shock, silence, disbelief, emotion. People weren't simply watching a movie anymore. They were witnessing a family member stepping into a role connected to one of the most influential entertainers in history. As word of those reactions spread, social media erupted. Fan pages exploded with screenshots. Entertainment channels rushed to cover every...
Unbelievable. And fantastic. I say, but the difference between them and Jaafar is that they imitate Michael, and Jaafar became Michael. The best of it.
His discipline. His determination to honor the story being told. Each interview generated millions of views. Each clip sparked thousands of comments. The emotional momentum continued growing. Then another moment ignited the internet. A widely shared interview featured praise for Jaafar's transformation. The clip spread across social media like wildfire. Fans replayed it repeatedly. Comment sections exploded. Many viewers described getting emotional just hearing family members discuss the experience. The reaction was enormous. But that was only the beginning. Because behind the scenes, another story was beginning to attract attention. As excitement surrounding the film increased, old interviews started resurfacing. Fans revisited comments made years earlier. Archived footage gained new life. Discussions about legacy, family history, and expectations suddenly dominated entertainment conversations. The pressure surrounding the project became impossible to ignore. This wasn't just another acting role. This wasn't just another biopic. This was a story connected to one of the most recognizable names on the planet. Every movement would be analyzed. Every scene would be examined. Every performance choice would be discussed endlessly. And everyone knew it. That reality made Jaafar's journey even more fascinating to audiences. The more people learned about the preparation involved, the more invested they became. Stories about training sessions spread online. Interviews discussing months of preparation accumulated millions of views. Fans became captivated by the sheer scale of the challenge. Then came another viral moment. A clip of Jaafar discussing the responsibility he felt while taking on the role began circulating everywhere. The sincerity of his comments resonated deeply. Viewers flooded the comment sections. Many praised his commitment. Others expressed admiration for the courage required to step into such a demanding role. The emotional connection between audiences and the project grew stronger. Every day brought another headline, another interview, another reaction. The conversation never slowed down. Soon, entertainment commentators began predicting that the film could become one of the biggest cultural events in years. Whether those predictions would prove accurate remained uncertain. But one thing was undeniable. People were paying attention. Very close attention. And nowhere was that attention more intense than among longtime Jackson fans. For them, this wasn't simply entertainment news. It was personal. The emotional investment stretched back decades. The memories were deeply rooted. The expectations were enormous. As anticipation continued building, fan communities became increasingly active. Discussion forums exploded with activity. Reaction channels uploaded daily updates. Social media timelines became flooded with clips and theories. Everyone wanted more information. Everyone wanted another glimpse. Everyone wanted answers. Then a particularly emotional family reaction began making headlines. The comments spread rapidly. Entertainment outlets covered them. Fans shared them across every platform imaginable. The story immediately became one of the most discussed topics surrounding the film. People weren't talking about special effects. They weren't talking about box office numbers. They weren't talking about marketing campaigns. They were talking about emotion. Real emotion. The kind that audiences instinctively recognize. The kind that cannot be manufactured. The kind that makes people stop scrolling and pay attention. That emotional response became the center of the narrative. And the internet couldn't get enough of it. As more reactions emerged, excitement reached a completely different level. Supporters declared the project a must-watch event. Discussion threads stretched into thousands of comments. Predictions became increasingly dramatic. The hype seemed unstoppable. But just when fans thought they understood the story, another unexpected development appeared. A new round of interviews began surfacing. And according to viewers who watched them closely, several comments hinted at challenges, doubts, and emotional moments that occurred long before cameras ever started rolling. Those comments immediately sparked curiosity. What had happened behind the scenes? How difficult had the journey really been? And what sacrifices were required to reach this point? The answers were only beginning to emerge. And if the growing speculation was correct, the most powerful chapter of Jaafar's story hadn't even been revealed yet. As excitement surrounding the film continued reaching new heights, a completely different side of the story began capturing the public's attention. It wasn't the costumes. It wasn't the choreography. It wasn't even the massive production itself. It was the pressure. The enormous, relentless pressure that came with stepping into a role connected to one of the most famous entertainers in history. The more interviews Jaafar gave, the more audiences realized just how overwhelming the journey must have been. He openly discussed uncertainty. He spoke about preparation. He described spending countless hours studying performances, interviews, and footage. Those comments struck a chord with viewers. Suddenly, people weren't just seeing an actor preparing for a movie. They were seeing someone attempting to honor a legacy that meant something to millions around the world. That realization transformed the conversation. Fans who had initially focused on appearance and performance began discussing dedication and commitment instead. Reaction channels noticed the shift immediately. Videos analyzing his preparation exploded in popularity. Comment sections filled with admiration. Viewers repeatedly pointed to the same thing: the effort, the determination, the willingness to embrace an extraordinary challenge. Then another interview clip went viral. In the footage, Jaafar reflected on how important support from family had been throughout the process. The moment spread rapidly. Millions watched. Millions shared. Millions reacted. Many viewers said that hearing him discuss family encouragement made the project feel even more personal. The emotional connection deepened. And with every new interview, public fascination continued growing. Soon, family members were being asked about the project in nearly every appearance they made. Their responses generated headlines. Their comments fueled discussion. Their praise sparked even more anticipation. The internet became obsessed. Entertainment websites ran story after story. Social media timelines became flooded with clips. Fan communities worked around the clock sharing updates. The momentum seemed unstoppable. Then came another major turning point. Several behind-the-scenes stories about the making of the film began circulating online. Audiences learned more about the physical demands involved. Long shooting schedules. Extensive rehearsals. Countless takes. Hours of preparation. The details fascinated people. The deeper they looked, the more respect they seemed to develop for the effort behind the project. Every revelation strengthened interest. Every interview created fresh headlines. Every headline attracted new viewers. The cycle continued without slowing. Meanwhile, longtime Jackson fans remained intensely invested. For many, this wasn't simply a film release. It represented something far bigger. A chance to revisit a story they had followed for decades. A chance to reconnect with memories. A chance to see a new generation engage with a legacy that had shaped music and entertainment history. That emotional investment became one of the driving forces behind the enormous online response. Then another viral moment changed everything. A compilation of family reactions began spreading across social media. The video gathered millions of views. Viewers watched it repeatedly. Comment sections exploded with emotion. Many people described getting chills. Others admitted becoming emotional themselves. The reactions felt genuine, and audiences responded accordingly. Soon, the discussion moved beyond entertainment circles. Mainstream media began covering the growing anticipation. Talk shows discussed it. News outlets analyzed it. Commentators debated it. The project had become one of the most talked about entertainment stories of the moment. But behind all the excitement, another question kept surfacing. What would happen when audiences finally saw the complete film? The question appeared everywhere. In comment sections, on fan pages, across discussion forums. People wanted answers. People wanted reassurance. Most of all, people wanted to know whether the final result could live up to the extraordinary expectations now surrounding it. The anticipation became almost impossible to measure. Every new image generated headlines. Every new clip generated discussion. Every new interview generated millions of views. The spotlight grew brighter. The expectations grew larger. And the pressure grew even more intense. Then came one of the most revealing developments yet. Several family members publicly emphasized the amount of work Jaafar had invested in the role. Those comments immediately became major headlines. Fans shared them everywhere. Entertainment pages reposted them endlessly. The message was clear. This wasn't a project approached casually. It was a project approached with commitment. That narrative resonated powerfully. Audiences appreciated effort. They appreciated preparation. They appreciated dedication. And the more they learned about the process, the more invested they became. By this point, the story had evolved far beyond a traditional movie release. It had become a cultural event, an emotional event, a story about family, memory, responsibility, and expectations. Millions were following every development. Millions were waiting for the next update. Millions were counting down to what came next. Then, just when it seemed anticipation couldn't possibly increase any further, another powerful reaction emerged. A reaction that immediately spread across fan communities worldwide. A reaction that reignited emotional discussions across social media. A reaction that convinced many viewers the biggest moment connected to this project was still ahead. Because according to those who had seen more footage, there was one sequence in particular that continued generating extraordinary responses. One sequence people couldn't stop talking about. One sequence that reportedly left viewers stunned. And if the growing buzz surrounding that moment was even partially accurate, it could become the most talked about scene in the entire film. The countdown had officially begun. And the world was watching. The closer the film moved toward release, the more intense the reaction became. What had started as curiosity had evolved into something far bigger. Every new interview became a headline. Every new clip became a trending topic. Every new reaction became fuel for an audience that simply couldn't get enough. The anticipation had reached a boiling point. And then something remarkable happened. People stopped talking only about the film. They started talking about Jaafar himself. The conversation shifted. Fans weren't just discussing costumes, choreography, or performances anymore. They were discussing commitment, dedication, responsibility, the immense challenge of carrying expectations that would overwhelm almost anyone else. That shift transformed public perception. Audiences became emotionally invested in the journey. The story behind the role suddenly felt just as compelling as the role itself. Social media reflected that change immediately. Tribute videos appeared everywhere. Fan edits accumulated millions of views. Reaction channels released hour-long discussions. Entertainment commentators analyzed every new development. The momentum became impossible to ignore. Then another wave of emotional reactions emerged. Viewers who had attended previews and promotional events began describing their experiences online. Without revealing major details, many focused on the emotional atmosphere surrounding the project. Their comments spread rapidly. Discussion forums exploded. Fan communities became more active than ever. The excitement intensified. And with every passing day, expectations continued growing. Many longtime fans described the situation as unlike anything they had experienced in years. The combination of nostalgia, family history, and anticipation created a uniquely emotional environment. People weren't merely waiting for a movie. They were waiting for a moment. A moment they hoped would honor memories that had remained important for decades. That emotional investment was powerful, incredibly powerful, and it became increasingly clear that audiences around the world were preparing for something special. Then came another major development. A series of interviews featuring people connected to the project began circulating online. The comments generated enormous attention. Fans dissected every quote. Reaction channels analyzed every statement. Entertainment websites published article after article. The excitement reached another level. What fascinated viewers most was hearing people describe the passion behind the production. Again and again, discussions returned to the same themes. Preparation, commitment, respect, responsibility. The words appeared everywhere. And each time they did, audience anticipation grew stronger. Soon, social media became flooded with countdown posts. Fans shared memories. They shared favorite songs, favorite performances, favorite moments. The conversation expanded beyond the film and became a celebration of an entire legacy. That emotional wave continued spreading. Families discussed it together. Friends shared clips. Communities organized watch plans. The anticipation had become global. Then a particularly powerful trend emerged. Fans began posting stories about how Michael Jackson's music had impacted their lives. Thousands participated, then tens of thousands. Soon the stories were everywhere. Some were joyful, some were emotional, some were deeply personal. Together, they created a reminder of why so many people remained invested in the story. The reaction was extraordinary. Every post generated more discussion. Every discussion generated more attention. The cycle became self-sustaining. Meanwhile, entertainment media continued covering every development. Analysts discussed expectations. Commentators debated predictions. Industry observers weighed in. The spotlight surrounding the project grew brighter by the day. And yet one question remained at the center of everything. Could the film live up to the extraordinary anticipation now surrounding it? Nobody knew. Not critics. Not fans. Not commentators. The answer would only come once audiences finally experienced the complete story for themselves. But regardless of what happened next, one thing had already become undeniable. Jaafar's journey had captured the public imagination. The dedication, the preparation, the pressure, the responsibility. People connected with that story. They understood it. They respected it. And that connection became one of the defining narratives surrounding the film. As release day approached, the excitement reached levels few could have predicted months earlier. The headlines continued. The reactions continued. The conversations continued. Everywhere people looked, the project remained a topic of discussion. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of all. Before audiences had even seen the finished film, it had already sparked conversations about family, legacy, determination, and the challenges of stepping into an iconic role. Those conversations brought generations of fans together. They created new interest, new excitement, new appreciation. And they reminded people why stories connected to powerful legacies continue resonating across decades. The journey wasn't simply about recreating the past. It was about introducing that story to new audiences while honoring the memories of those who had been there from the beginning. That balance is never easy. The expectations are enormous. The scrutiny is intense. The pressure is relentless. Yet those challenges are exactly what made the story so compelling. Because people love seeing someone rise to meet an extraordinary challenge. They love seeing dedication rewarded. They love seeing hard work recognized. And that's precisely why audiences became so emotionally invested in Jaafar's journey. The film's release may answer many questions. It may create new conversations. It may spark new debates. But one thing is already certain. The story surrounding this project has become much bigger than anyone imagined. And judging by the reactions from fans, commentators, and family members alike, the world will be talking about it for a very long time to come. If you've made it this far, then you've witnessed one of the most emotional and talked about entertainment stories unfolding right before our eyes. Because this was never just about a movie. It was never just about a performance. And it was never just about stepping into a famous role. This became a story about family. A story about legacy. A story about pressure, determination, and the courage to take on a challenge that most people would never dare attempt. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Jaafar was the right choice for this role? What moment from this story impacted you the most? And how do you think audiences around the world will react when they finally experience the complete film? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because this conversation is only getting bigger and your opinion could be featured in a future video. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button immediately. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications because we're bringing you the biggest celebrity stories, exclusive entertainment updates, viral reactions, and emotional moments that everyone will be talking about tomorrow. Don't wait until the headlines explode and everyone else is already discussing it. Be here first. Join this growing community of fans who never miss the biggest stories as they happen. Because the next major update could arrive at any moment. The next emotional reaction could break the internet. And the next chapter of this incredible story may be even more shocking than everything you've seen so far. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned because the story is far from over.